These core members are the victims of the assault on that day by the operatives of the Agunechemba.
Wearing this uniform should be a shield covering us. We are wearing this uniform now in fear.
We were told they will be prosecuted.
We've arrested all of them, detained them.
Barely 2 or 3 days after, Jennifer got an information from her source that they've been released.
It was those girls who said, no, we don't want to go to court.
They have not even seen my father. They have not even talked to my father before. And yet they are lying that my father called them that he does not want the issue to go on.
They were adequately compensated and taken care of prior to what you see on the net.
Some of the core members were giving 10,000, 25,000. I think Jennifer was giving around 70,000 naira. Yes.
Left for me, I would say that they should be disbanded.
The person who is calling for the disbandment of Agunechemba is an enemy of the state.
Imagine the opposition was trying to bank on this.
The disbandment of Agunechemba will worsen the security situation in Anambra State.
On the 23rd of July 2025, some men of the Anambra State vigilante group, known as Agunechemba, who were on the trail of a criminal suspect, besieged the property being occupied by youth corps members in Oba area of Anambra State. This is the place where Jennifer, the youth corps member who was assaulted by the men of the operatives of the Agunechemba security outfit. It actually happened here. Victor Obumneme is a resident at the property where the entire incident took place.
The Agunechemba people now came. They were knocking. So when they knock, they wanted to open the door, but they didn't even allow those guests to open the door. They just kicked down the door immediately. So the coppers now bring out their ID card and say, we are coppers, we are coppers. Just start carrying everybody. So the girls now said, okay, before you carry us, you have to call our LGI and tell her that you are carrying us so that we know that we are safe with you guys. So, but they just ignored everything.
The core members say the incident leaves scars on their minds as they constantly fear for their lives.
Since ever the incidents happened, we have been living in fear. A little knock on our doors scares us.
No, I cannot leave my house because of the trauma of what they did to me that day. I've been moving from one hospital to the other, taking treatment for myself. As if that is not even enough. I cannot even go out because only the sight of a Sienna vehicle is a problem to me.
So it was not only Jennifer that was beaten and all of this stuff. I was also, he also, but even almost the 4 of us and others that are not currently here.
This has since drawn very wide condemnation since it first hit the internet and media space around mid-August 2025.
Well, that incident is very unfortunate, condemnable, and an act of unprofessional conduct from our men, some of our men.
For us, the story seems to harbor more than just an investigation gone wrong. We set out to investigate the actual cause of this act. Our destination, Awka, the state capital and headquarters of the Agunechemba security outfit.
Well, Agunechemba is simply the security of Anambra State. We're working with all the security agencies, including the Nigerian police, providing security for the Anambra, for the lives and property of the Anambra.
We are determined to fight criminality and ensure...
The Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, inaugurated the Agunechemba security outfit shortly after he was sworn into office in March of 2022, with the sole objective of tackling insecurity in the state. This was coming at a time the state was ravaged by insecurity and the call for state police was at its highest in the state.
The Commissioner of Police today is not from Anambra. The DSS is not from Anambra. Those officers, they are not from Anambra. So we are the grassroots. So now why Agunechemba is there to augment their effort as the grassroots security so that we can tackle the insecurity.
Despite the actions taken by the leadership of the security outfit against its erring men, the calls for the disbandment for the group seem to be louder.
It's really, really sad. They've done a whole lot of wrong. I want to believe that they've done some good too. I don't know. I don't live in Anambra State. I do not know. I've only heard of the reports. The report I've had is this from Jennifer and, of course, the others the foundations are working on. And it's a sad thing. I just know, for one thing I know for sure is that the operations of these men ought to be looked at.
Every kind of organization that is being set up has a primary objective. And the objective of these people are to secure those in this community or within. Now, if that primary objective is defeated, then I don't think there's any need for them to continue. And just like my colleague here said, if someone that is learned is into the system, the person should know the do's and don'ts. But these people are not learned. There are people that even seeing your ID card, they cannot read through what is there. You see, so they should just be disbanded.
You have said that they should be disbanded and maybe empower the police.
Me, I am not Agunechemba. I volunteer myself for the sake of Anambra State. So anybody who is talking over disbanding Agunechemba, maybe you don't want the good of Anambra State, the good will of Anambra State. The person just want to use his own personal interest.
But what consequences will this portend for a state that has been ravaged by insecurity before the coming of the Agunechemba security outfit?
We've arrested all of them, detained them, and as I speak with you, they've been transferred to the Nigerian police for them to prosecute them. They must go in for it. That's not what we sent them to do. All these years we've been doing wonderfully well in Anambra. The Anambarians can testify to that. When you have to take your mind back to what has been happening in Anambra before now, even before we came, Anambra is no-go area. All of us knows about it. The kidnapping everywhere, the killings. They've turned this place into a marketplace because they believe that every person in Anambra has a kidnap value.
Having condemned the attack on the Youth Corps member, the need for training, retraining, and equipping the local vigilante group has become paramount in the face of rising complaints bordering on misconduct, abuse of power, and inadequate tools to aid interrogations and other aspects of investigation.
This is the weapon we use to attack those people in the bush. And basically, this is not to compare with the machinery weapon they are using in the bush. You understand? So this is enough sacrifice for us to Anambra people.
Those boys use AK-47s, AK-49s, K2s, GPMGs, RPG, many different types of weapons. And we face them every day with this pump. Some are not even good. We have done a lot of sacrifice inside bush. Those boys we are fighting, they know us, and they know us quite well. That's why sometimes we cover our face, because they know our families. They know where we come out from. Everybody in Anambra State, we are from Anambra, we are Anambarians. And we are fighting this war to make our home safe for us.
Since they were constituted, things were moving very well. But it seems that there are some traps among them. My opinion is to screen them again, because maybe they were not thoroughly screened. They are supposed to be screened and sort out the chaff from the food. If you disband them, nobody will move around in Anambra State.
It's not quite long the Anambra State Police Command trained our men, and we will continue to train them internally. Externally, we've been collaborating with other security agencies for special trainings.
If they must keep these people and not disband them, then they should put them through and thorough knowledge and educate them properly, train them very well, and tell them the do's and don'ts. And they should know the people they are recruiting or putting in place. They should also make sure that majority of them there are graduates, because graduates that have gone through school and been in this position and served as us wouldn't do this to us, honestly speaking. So they should do better.
However, it has been widely gathered that the group, in collaboration with other security operatives in the state, have been able to galvanize efforts towards a safer and more peaceful Anambra, where many of her kinsmen who had initially fled the land for fear of being kidnapped or, at the worst case, killed by unknown gunmen, now say they feel safer to return home, to trade and live in the state.
If you go to the south zone of the state, most of their traditional rulers are no longer in their kingdoms, in their palaces.
Before this time, the policemen cannot wear uniform in Anambra State.
The state was no-go area for prominent men, women. Many have been killed, many have been maimed, many have been kidnapped, many paid ransoms, and all of them deserted the state. The big men deserted the state. Protestants deserted the state. Federal security agencies were no longer moving freely in Anambra State.
Traditional marriages, burials are being done outside Anambra. The Anambrans are now doing traditional marriage. You know what traditional marriage, the importance of traditional marriage being done in the person's compound. But they were doing them in Lagos and other places because they felt they were not safe in Anambra before.
But since governor consulted these people, things are all right. They're returning to normalcy. But you know, in every 12 there must be Judas. And they feel you because of the bad people to disband it. Without it, there will be no peace in Anambra.
Before now, nobody wants to go into those various bushes. None of the security agencies in Anambra wants to go into the bush. We started going into the bush to attack those boys, clearing all the camps from the so-called Tango 1 to Tango whatever they have in the bush. Imagine the boys having different tangos. You meet the first site, from there you move into the second one. I mean, they have hospital, they have their armory, they have their kitchen, they have their car park, all in the bush. It's not possible. That is why we went in there to attack. We're no longer waiting for them to come out.
80% of people residing in this place are traders. So you see all those bad boys, but right now you can't even see them again. They've run away. This Homeland Security law, because of all this Okite and all those things, were wiped out. All this water and all these occultic practices. In fact, the governor reformed our social, moral, and spiritual life.
Where are those who is calling for disbandment of it? They could have called for it since. So everybody, anybody who reasons very well will know that this is political undertone. It's politics, it's pure politics.
The person who is calling for the disbandment of Agunechemba is an enemy of the state, complete enemy of the state. Security is not something you can go about using in politics, considering the fact that lives and property are involved. And the Agunechemba have stood their ground, and we are still standing our ground to make sure we recapture all the areas these boys have been operating from.
So you cannot take one or two to say you will disband the Agunechemba security men on the line. You have to commend them, give them gifts, promote them, encourage them. So I commend. I want the governor to even increase their welfare package.
The assault of the Youth Corps member seemed to have spurred this conversation that spotlights the activities of the members of the Agunechemba security outfit. No doubt, these men appear to have sworn to sacrifice their lives for a good cause in protecting the state. It is hoped that this sacrifice and the spotlight currently on them will be pivotal in redefining and recalibrating the organization for the better towards enhanced and a more secured Anambra State. For News Central, Marshall-Anthoni, Ononye.